Hello and thank you for tuning in to Seahawk Central. I'm Stephanie Rodriguez.
And I'm Dylan Thompson, and we are proud to be the central spot for all things news and sports.
Today I'll pass it over to Ava Caduno for more on campus neutrality and what a political science professor has to say.
Thank you, Stephanie. Recent campus events and guest speakers have sparked a growing debate and even protest over whether UNCW has stayed truly politically neutral. To gain a better understanding of what campus neutrality means and how respectful debate can thrive on campus, I sat down with one of UNCW's political science professors, Dr. Nadine, to talk about this neutrality and fostering an environment with open discussion in today's divided climate.
But I don't think it means that students can't voice their opinions, or it should be that all voices are welcomed, and that they're respected, and that professors facilitate, that communication on all sides of the aisle, both sides of the aisle, everything. We can teach students how to listen to each other, how to have a respectful exchange, how to be okay when people disagree. I think that's a part of it, is that you can have your own beliefs, but it's also okay to disagree and have people disagree with you, or learn to appreciate the viewpoints of others. You might not agree with them, but you can appreciate them, or you can understand why someone might come to that conclusion. And I don't see a lot of that in today's climate, not just at UNCW, but just in general.
Dr. Nadine also informed me of a local organization here in Wilmington called Braver Angels. The group hosts open political discussions on and off campus where different viewpoints come together to listen, debate, and learn from each other. To learn more or to find out how to get involved, you can go to wilmington-nc.braverangels.org. Now on to Dylan to talk about sports.
Thank you, Ava. This past weekend, I flew back into Trask Coliseum for UNCW's second exhibition match of the new season. The men's basketball team faced the Francis Marion Patriots in a Halloween special. It was a close back-and-forth game until a late run by the Seahawks pushed their lead to double digits going into halftime. As they flew into the second half, it was an effective shooting and physical play that outlasted against the Patriots. Madison Durr and Nolan Hodge led the way in scoring for the Teal as they each tallied 17 points, while Christian May followed up with 14 of his own. The Seahawks out-rebounded and outscored the Patriots in an 84-68 victory. The Seahawks will be back in action at the Coliseum of Chaos, where they host Mount Olive in what should be an exciting night. Marie, how's our Teal looking off the court?
Hello everyone, welcome back to Seahawk Minute. I'm your host Marie Murphy, and we're going to do a quick flyover of the last few weeks in UNCW athletics. Today we're looking into men's and women's soccer, men's and women's tennis, and women's volleyball. Ready, set, go. Seahawks soccer played 2 games this week. The men's team traveled to Clemson on October 21st to take on the Tigers, but the Tigers came out on top after a hard-fought battle with a score of 0-6. The women traveled to Campbell and faced the Camels on October 26th. This game, which was the final of the regular season, ended with a 1-1 tie. They ended their season overall with a record of 11-3-3. Great job, girls. The women's volleyball team traveled to the College of Charleston to face the Cougars in a 2-game series on October 24th and 25th. On Friday, the Seahawks fell after they won 1 match, and the Cougars won the next 3 to end the game. Saturday's game went much quicker as the Cougars dominated and the Seahawks fell 0-3. Finally, tennis recently left their mark on 2 tournaments. First, the women played at the ITA Regionals in Chapel Hill on October 16th and 17th. Day 1 consisted of singles play for the Lady Seahawks, where Alex Borsich and Samay Kalish won their respective matches. On day 2, they finished singles play and tried their hand in doubles, but fell to Furman, UNC, and Wake Forest. Finally, the men hosted Georgia State and Davidson at the UNCW Team Invitational to close out their season on October 24th, 25th, and 26th. Throughout the weekend, they went 18-6 in singles play and went 8-3 in doubles. Coming up, soccer, cross country, volleyball, and more of your UNCW Seahawks will face some exciting opponents, so stay tuned. Thanks for joining me once again, and I'll see you on the next Seahawk Minute. I heard hockey had an interesting weekend. Isn't that right, Caroline?
Thanks, Marie. The UNCW Seahawks hockey team is rolling, extending their undefeated season record to 9-0 with two thrilling, hard-fought wins against Virginia Tech. This weekend on the ice, Friday night was a dramatic back-and-forth battle. Virginia Tech stunned the Seahawks, immediately scoring just 24 seconds into the first period. But UNCW fought back with goals from Kai Levy, Dylan Moresco, and Corey Levy. The intensity peaked in the second period, which featured a goal-scoring flurry in a fight that led to the ejection of 4 players, 2 from each team. Despite briefly trailing 4-3, UNCW rallied to tie the game at 5-5 with scores from Luke Nasoy and Woody Reichelt. The game remained tied until the final 3.5 minutes when Colin Roberts netted the game-winning goal for the dramatic 6-5 UNCW victory. The heat was on again Saturday night with both teams racking up a combined total of 54 minutes in penalties. Despite the aggressive play, UNCW maintained control. Goals from Carter Doherty and Lucas Moses gave the Seahawks an early lead. While Virginia Tech briefly narrowed the margin, key scoring from Doherty again and Colin Roberts kept UNCW ahead. Ultimately, Zach Owens provided the final tally, securing a decisive 5-3 victory and keeping the Seahawks' perfect season intact. Dylan.
Thank you, Caroline, and way to keep us informed with our Seahawk sports.
Well, that's all for this week's episode of Seahawk Central. If you have any newsworthy stories, email us at seahawkcentralnews@gmail.com.
And make sure to stay up to date with all UNCW sports by following at Seahawk Central Sports _UNCW for updates and future exclusive content for the 25-26 year. I'm Dylan Thompson with sports.
And I'm Stephanie Rodriguez with your news. We'll see you next week. Or will we?
Now that you've seen the ordinary, prepare yourselves to see the unordinary. Prepare yourself to enter an alternate dimension, a dimension of sight, a dimension of sound, a dimension of mind. Prepare yourself to see what normally we do not see on the news. Prepare yourself to see what no man or woman has seen before. Prepare yourself to enter the Twilight Zone.